Hi Rachel, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
I certainly can. So I'm part of the student life team, and we have a very varied work on a daily basis. I'd say the most important thing is we're the first point of contact for all kinds of inquiries. We have an open door policy, and we really do have a whole range of needs which we cater to for the students. So at the beginning of the semester, it's lots of inquiries to do with their residence. Maybe they're having roommate issues. We also have homesickness, or if they start to feel unwell. That's quite a common one. Another really common one is if they lose things, Oyster cards, bank cards, that kind of thing. We can offer advice. But it's just a whole range. So there's that, and then within the team we all have kind of specific roles. So me personally, a lot of what I do is around orientation on arrivals. So before students even arrive in London, I start to contact them with emails, how to prepare, what to expect, and I put together the schedule. So there's obviously the big orientation where we talk about cultural differences and how to get the most out of the experience, and then there's a theatre trip, because London's great for theatre, and we have walking tours of the local area and a coach tour of the rest of London. So it's just trying to put together a schedule to get students acclimatised and settled, and that's my role that organises that kind of thing. And throughout the semester I also have the happy task of organising the extracurricular activities, which are the optional events that students can choose to sign up for. They're subsidised by FIE, so they are a little bit cheaper than if the student wanted to organise it themselves. The most popular ones tend to be the Wales Adventure Weekend, which is a 3-day event, and then we have favourites like the London Eye, and some theatre in there, bits and bobs, some seasonal things, depending on the time of year as well. We've had Halloween activities in the past, and Christmas this year there's the Nutcracker Ballet, bits and pieces, so that's what I do.
I'm the Assistant Director of Student Life, so again I get involved in some of the sort of day-to-day things that come up in the office, so the student welfare issues or the general sort of inquiries that we get. Aside from that, I am responsible for arranging the co-curricular activities, so with students coming all the way from the States to London, we like to use London as a classroom and get students to get out and about and explore London as part of their courses as well. So I book a lot of the co-curricular activities, field trips, which include visits to Parliament, the Globe Theatre, and the most traditional of British experiences, which is a curry in Brick Lane. So those are just some of the things that we organise. In addition to that, I'm responsible for the tandem language exchange, so it's matching up FIE students with international students from the nearby Francis King School of English, so that the international students can practice English with our American students, and our American students, if they want to learn another language or if they already have a little bit of knowledge of a foreign language, then they can be partnered up with local international students and sort of get the opportunity to find out a bit more about the cultures and practice their own language. So that's something that I'm involved in as well.
Cool. And you've talked a lot about what you do individually, so could you tell a little bit about what the Student Life team does as a whole?
As a whole, again, really going on from what Rachel said before, the sort of quite often the first point of contact for any students that have any welfare issues, and just general inquiries as well. So students quite often, if they're planning to travel to Europe for example, they'll pop in just to get some advice, also advice about other things to do in London, and just the sort of day-to-day things such as losing Oyster cards and things like that. In addition to that, we also our colleague James, who's the residence life manager, sort of takes care of everything that happens in the student residences, so he manages the residence life team, and anything that sort of arises with regards to housing also gets sort of looked after in this office as well.
Okay. And what can the student team, the student life team, offer students both academically and recreationally?
I mean, academically, with regards specifically to the student life team, then really it sort of goes back to the co-curricular activities. Obviously a lot more goes on academically, but that's sort of arranged separately through the academic department. So things such as the learning support tutors, the writing support tutors, sorry, for example. Student life, again, can recommend places where students can study nearby, or libraries that are part of other universities, and give a bit more information about Student Union at Imperial, for example, and libraries and things like that. But apart from that, then the academic department will sort of really sort of take care of the other sort of aspects with regards to the students' courses. And then recreationally.
So I already mentioned obviously there's FIE organised events to socialise right from the reception at the very beginning of the semester through the events which are optional and students can meet other students studying at FIE. But I also think it's really important that we do provide opportunities for FIE students to meet Brits and other international students. I think it's really important to socialise and get that kind of cultural experience. So as Gabi mentioned, we started the tandem language exchange, so that's one option. I think one of the best options is also our partnership with Imperial College, where FIE students get associate membership to their student union, which is very much the social side. So they can use the bar and the facilities in the union. There's various rooms. They can join the clubs and societies, which I'd say is a really brilliant way to meet local students. There's also associate membership cards for the International Student House, or ISH. That's a short ride up at Great Portland Street. Again, it's a really social hub. Such a good environment. They have a really nice space for live music, and they have regular nights like a free Sunday cinema every Sunday, and various things going on. So that's another option. That's probably the main ways we try and get students socialising, not just within FIE.
Okay, great. How did you both come to your positions on the team?
Okay, I think I was always really interested in certainly going abroad. I think it's just really an important thing to do, to move out of your comfort zone, go somewhere foreign, see what it's like. I think it's a really good experience. I was quite into that already, and personally I had such a good time myself at university. I was also keen to stay in a kind of university environment, and then the opportunity came up at FIE actually for me to be a residence life supervisor. So I initially started living with the students, which I think was a really significant experience for me. I got to kind of experience firsthand what they thought about FIE and studying in London, which is a really good background, and I enjoyed it so much I was keen to do it full time, and luckily enough a position came up in student life and I really enjoy it.
That's awesome. How about you, Gabi?
Well, I started at FIE this January. Again, before that, like Rachel, always really enjoyed travelling. I was lucky enough again at uni to have a year abroad myself, because I studied languages and I just thought it was a brilliant experience. After leaving university, I worked in the EFL industry for a while, so English as a foreign language, and I taught in Spain and Poland, and taught foreign students in London as well. And then from the teaching I moved into admin and accommodation, and I used to actually work at Francis King for 7 years, the school where we've sort of set up the tandem language exchange with, as an accommodation manager, and have always really loved working with students, and just felt it was time to sort of go into a slightly different industry, and sort of, although I'd worked with students from all over the world, I hadn't yet worked with American students, and it's quite nice to sort of get to know the students a little bit better because they come for a whole term, so it's that opportunity to get to know them a bit better, and just to sort of get to understand really American students, the programs, and just to learn a bit more about how things work there. And it was a good choice and really enjoying it.
I can see that. Any advice to give to students who are looking to study here in London?
Definitely go for it. Really, really valuable experience. I mean, London is a fantastic city in any case. I'm slightly biased. I was born here and have lived here all my life and probably won't move. So just from that point of view, I highly recommend it. But I think just as an opportunity to live and study in another country, to meet other people, learn about the culture in the UK. I think it's a really fantastic opportunity, and yeah, one that should be seized.
Agreed. And Rachel?
Yeah, similar response to Gabi. I say definitely do it. I think it's really important to take opportunities to study abroad, and I think London is a phenomenal place to do it. There's just such a range of cultures and things to see. It's got a brilliant history. It's really lively, and I think it'd be a good choice.
Okay, thank you both very much.
Thank you.